Hello, folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our comic for today is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin, issue 4 by IDW. Now, there is violence, fighting, killing, blood, explosions, destruction, more violence, self-sacrifice, and sort of betrayal in this one. So if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright, here's the team. So when we left off the last Ronin in issue 3, April just showed Mikey this tank-looking vehicle she has built and told him about the plan she had to take down Oroku, Shredder's grandson. And so we begin this issue. It says now Casey Marie, and Mikey and a bunch of other resistance warriors. They're outside of Stockman's fortress, which is on its own island apparently. So they're fighting there. They're trying to stick to the plan, get through. There are machine guns on the tower, or on the towers of the fortress. There are automatic machine guns. They're firing at them, and then there are the robots, and they're waiting for April to arrive with Honeycoat's head, and so they can execute their plan. So they're fighting, struggling there. And Donatello. Mikey tells Casey to stay there. He's gonna go a bit forward. He wait, so when that happens. Casey also. Oh, and this one is Blood and Snow. It's called. Okay, it's this one. Mikey fights some robots. Destroys a big one, tells himself not to get too cocky, but then he falls with it, and the robot falls on him. Two other robots are coming, but Casey Marie saves him. I'm just calling Casey Marie so there'll be no confusion. She gives the robots, and he tells her, "I told you to stay there." And she says, "I know, Sensei. You told me to stay, but I didn't." He said disobedient, but in good initiative for going to him anyway. Then we go back to then. This is before they went on with the attack on Stockman. Casey Marie's training with a punching bag, and Mikey's standing watching her. She doesn't notice him and talks to his. Hallucinating his brothers and talking to them on her skills and how she's okay, but think how she'll be with proper training. And then Donatello asks, why did she cut her hair? Her hair went through some weird stages. Like in the first issue, it was shoulder length, and she had the crazy makeup and the clothes. And second issue, no makeup really, and a long ponytail, which looked longer than her hair in issue 2. Issue 3 it was the same, and now in this one she cut it. It looks like how Casey's hair was before he died, so maybe that's why. I have no idea. Anyway, Mikey comes out of the shadows, so to say, and sneaks up on her and said, come on, let's see what you've got. You're not ready to handle this. So they start fighting. Of course, Mikey is a far superior warrior. He's had the decades of training, and she's only 16 and only had herself to teach. She could only learn by herself. But she does manage to kick him a few times, but not hard enough to do anything. And she sort of makes a move, but he manages to subdue her. He pushes her against the wall and holds her arm. And he says, careful on these bricks. They're already old. And she said, you would know. Well, anyway, she submits. He says, sometimes you have to learn when to submit, when to retreat. And he says, all right, fine. And he says, wait, no, it's not fine. What I mean is you need a teacher. If you want, I will teach you. And he said, really? Then he said, yes, but I'm going to be your sensei. And she hugs him and says, thank you, sensei. She's happy, and then she leaves. And he's like, shit, that's not what I meant. Then April appears behind him, and she's very happy about this, and they're getting along, that he'll be her sensei. And so Mike even tells her, you don't know me, I don't know you, but we are family, through parents. So, April says, I'm so happy she'll have you as a teacher. She really needs this, I gave her what I could, but I couldn't do a lot more than that. And then Mikey says, well, when are you gonna tell me? And she says, to tell you what, that, she's not completely normal. So Casey Marie has, it seems, enhanced strength and speed, and also a healing factor. And then Mikey's like, did you, do you inject her? I assume with some things. And April's really angry and says, Mikey, how could you, think that about me? I would never inject my own daughter. So she got this because April and Casey were exposed to the turtles for so long, and they caught their mutation. Because April's been studying Casey's blood ever since she was born to see where this came from. Because she obviously noticed this. Which, yeah, would explain her ability to kick and all. I didn't really think about it. But, and she says she also has the healing factor, and that Casey Ray doesn't know. She knows she's different, but April hasn't told her exactly how. And she asks Mikey if he can, keep it between the two of them for now. And he's shocked that that they both got yeah. Not, I mean, Casey and April, obviously, neither of them mutated, but because of hanging out with them for so long, their daughter is mutated. And April tells him, you couldn't have known, I couldn't have known, it's fine. And she says, well, Mike, you never told me the end of the story. What happened to Master Splinter and Donatello? And he says, yes, your family, you should know. And so he starts telling her. We move again to that other art style. Which, I can actually show you here just later on, at least what it looks like in color. So he arrived in Japan. He went up on a plane and he was in cargo. He snuck out of there, and all he had was a crappy map and general stories of what Master Splinter told him about the Hatomo clan, his clan. But he somehow managed to reach what looked like a big palace or a village, and then a lot of old samurai-looking warriors, dressed properly, all ambushed him, and he told them his name and who his father is, and they led him to a village, which was not really a village, it was just a compound for the Hatomo clan. There he met someone by the name of Shinchiro, who led him inside, and he was desperate to find out what happened, so he wasn't following all the rules of decorum. But Shinchiro looked at him sadly, and then he told him what happened. So Master Splinter and Donatello safely arrived to Japan, to the Hotomo clan. Met Shinchiro. He and Splinter were old friends. They were going to they were going to meet Oroku Hiroto to talk about peace. So they go up to the clan compound. Donatello says how he wants to contact his contact everyone back in New York to see how things are going. Oh, poor bastards! If only they knew. And Shinchiro tells him that, oh, we have a radio for that, the radio equipment. I'll make sure someone gets it to you. And then it's like late at night. And the next day, I think it's, I mean, I can't tell if I think it was sunset. I believe. Wait, let me just make sure that's his actual name. I'd be reading it wrong. Was it? Yeah. Oh wait, Shinichiro. Shinichiro. Sorry, I think Shinichiro's the way to read it. So they go and the meeting place is some graveyard. Lovely place for talks of peace, eh? Not sinister at all. Aster Splinter, you know, they're very apprehensive about all this. They brought weapons. They don't really trust Hiroto. Oroku Hiroto, good reason. So they're waiting there, and yeah, the meeting place seems suspicious to them. Then a messenger from the Orotu clan arrives, and they're like, "Hey, wait, where's Oroku Hiroto? He said that he would come." And the messenger's like, "Of course, just watching the preparations of the feast after we have the peace talk." And he says, "Oh, but why did you bring weapons? That was not part of the deal or the conditions of meeting." And Master Splinter like, "Well, they're decorative weapons." And they're like, and he tells the messenger, "We're gonna wait here until Oroto Hiroku arrives. This feud's been going on for generations. A few more minutes won't matter." And surprise, surprise, that this was just an ambush. There was never gonna be any talks of peace. Oroku Hiroto arrives on his horse of his commander and more of the Foot Clan. What? Even at 16, he was a fucking bastard. So he said there was never going to be any talks of peace. He's going to eliminate Master Splinter and Donatello. So a fight breaks out. Master Splinter is like, "Okay, that's it. We're now killing him." He starts killing off the Foot Clan. They obviously have more numbers. Shinichiro fights, and also two of his men that are there. And then they keep fighting, and then Oroku Hiroto tells them, "Oh, if you only know you know what happened in New York, that's it. I finished off everyone there, and now I'll finish off you and your mutated son." And of course, once Donatello and Master Splinter learn this, things get even worse. Master Splinter's like, "I will kill you." So he keeps fighting through to get to Oroku Hiroto. This stupid bastard. Oroku Hiroto's just like, "I'm gonna go down there and watch it closer how my archers are going to kill them." Because that's a brilliant plan to be, in the way of the arrows. Fucking hell, how this kid survive this long is beyond me. Anyway, the archers begin. Master Splinter is still running forward. Donatello gets hit by the Foot Clan and also by the arrows. Master Splinter throws his katana, and apparently he's the one that killed Shredder also. He throws his katana, he hits Hiroto in the shoulder. Unfortunately, that doesn't kill him, obviously. And he gets hurt, but then Rain of Arrows kills off Master Splinter and Donatello. His commander grabs Oroku and takes her. He said, "No, unhand me." He's like, "Master Oroku, we must retreat. We lost this battle." So they retreat, but slightly before that, backup comes from the Hamato clan. But it is too late. They're dead. Then we move on again to that art style where Donatello says, "I've come to get answers." Yeah, or to find out what happened, all I found was the cremated bodies of my father and brother, and Donatello's weapon, and Master Splinter's book, a journal. So he took those. Master Shinichiro did offer him to stay with them, but he declined. It was just all of that was reminding him too much of his family, all those warriors. So he respectfully declined, and after that, he went to the mountains. And we know what happened later. Then we go back again to the. Wait, we go back to. Okay, we go back again to then. Oh yeah, sorry. And after that, she tells him you have to. Right after that, he asks April about Casey's abilities, and she didn't tell him about my mistake. Then she tells him no, and she said, "Come on, we need to get ready. Let's get some food now. So I want you to meet some of my friends." And he's like, "Friends? What friends?" Okay, one moment. Okay. Then, for the rest of the story, we go back and forth between then and now. We see they're all in like a battle room, I suppose, planning the attack. These friends of April, there's got the commander guy. They say, okay, we're gonna do this, and then in between we have them fighting in real time, fighting in the now. They have it quite tough because those machine guns in the tower keep raining on them, which is hurting their chances. They're killing off people. They also have some that land with, like squirrel suits to fly. They're also getting destroyed. They're getting shot in the air. Uh, Donatello tells Casey Marie to take the men and try to keep getting through the doors. He goes up top. He destroys some of the machine gun things, and that's it. They're fighting. They don't know what to do. But then April bursts in with her special tank car. She's finally made it. She says, "Sorry, I was stuck in the bottom of the ocean, and everything." So the plan is they get in, right? They get in through the all of the directions. Then they operate Honeycoat's head. With that, they use it to destroy Stockman's whole island, his whole building. Because Stockman is the one that built everything for Oroku Hirotu. Even though there's no love lost between them and they don't really get along, they still depend on each other. Or at least Orotu really depends on his technology. So if they destroy that, that's it. He doesn't have his means anymore. Now he's gonna have to fight. No, so that frees the rest of the city. No robot, no cyborg ninjas to keep people oppressed. So she gets in, and she sees those little robots that mousers they're called, or whatever it was. She sees her. She said, "Did I tell you how much I hate these things? They're the reason that Casey and Donatello died, and Leonardo died because they all exploded on them." She operates something on a tablet thing, and they all get electrocuted and destroyed. While this is happening, Stockman's like, "Don't bother me in my work." What a prick. Also, while this is happening, of course, Orotu gets messages about it. One of his men tells him, and he says, "Oh, let him blow himself up about Stockman." But he said, "No, wait, send someone there to make sure that he doesn't blow himself up. Not until I don't secure the technology." Oh, the island's called, I think, Roosevelt Island. So finally, April gets out. She's got Honeycoat's head. She plugs it into electricity, and it starts to work. He's like, "Come on, Honeycoat." So he gets powered. Of course, Stockman gets a notification about it. He's like, "Kill all of them." but get that head for me. He means Professor Honeycombs. Okay, he was a professor. So they're fighting them. He sent more of those more robots. Then he now he looks more corpse like Stockman. So I'm still not certain what he is. If he was human before, if he's some kind of humanoid cyborg. A humanoid cyborg. If he's some kind of cyborg, because his skin it looks really fucking rotten now, and he's mostly robot. So I'm very much confused what he is. Obviously, he and Honeycombs go way back, or Honeycomb go way back. Something's there. The enemies, or that they work together, and he wanted Honeycomb's, brain to use it. Not sure. Anyway, he runs. Stockman runs out to see. He wants to grab the Honeycomb's head. He sees April. He's like, "Get away from that head." And he said, not. Just that he runs toward her. She said, she turns out and says, "This one's for my husband," and she uses her robotic hand to punch him in the face. That was fantastic. But he knocks her out and he says, damn woman, I almost felt that." April plugged Honeycoat into the wall there. Honeycoat. Stockman pulls him out. Is like, "Finally, I have you." And then Honeycoat says, "You shall not pass." I wonder if that's a reference to Lord of the Rings, Gandalf. And Stockman's like, "What?" And he says, "You shall not pass. This is for my family, my friends." And then he self-destructs while Stockman's holding him. And Stockman's like, "No," but it's too late. There's a big explosion. Everyone else is okay, but that's it. Honeycoat and Stockman are both gone. And April thanks Honeycoat for a sacrifice. And as soon as Stockman is destroyed, there's like this, almost like a sea of nanobots they are. And they start going into the machines. And April says that that's Honeycoat. And now he has control over everything. Then we move briefly to the city. You see the lights are turned off, and everything on the island's also turned off, and the same thing's happening in the city. The cyborg police robots, they're not cyborgs, police robots are malfunctioning. The people are starting to notice. They're going outside. People in in the lowest level, they start kicking them and destroying them, and yeah, Oroku next. And then we move on to Oroku. He gets told, that things aren't working. He says, "Contact Stockman," and said, "We can't. We can't get to him. The lines are disconnecting." He's like, "Gather everyone in the building, and I want Stockman right here in front of me within the hour." Then we move back to the island with Mikey and April and everyone, and he says, "Well, we won the battle." Oh, who was? I think Casey Ray says we won, and April says we won the battle, but not the war. And Mikey says, "Yeah, and this time I'm not willing to pay the price." And that is it. That's where the issue ends. Because Mikey, way before that, while they were in the training room, he tells April, "If I'd known you were alive, maybe things would have been different," because he thought he was really alone. But yeah, no, that's it. That's where it ended. All right, cover. I really like this cover. The sunset. It's meant to show the fight that Master Splinter and Donatello had with the Foot Clan. It's really lovely. It actually looks like something I drew. if I don't forget, maybe I'll leave a picture here. And I drew a similar scene way before I had the comic, I think, or maybe wow. I can't remember. Anyway, a lovely cover. Looks very good. I love the colors. Okay, art. Yep. You see, there we go. You see, she kind of She kind of looks a little bit like a Robin, doesn't she? There we go. They're outside Stockman's fortress. Yeah, I don't know why she. I think maybe she cut it so it looked like Casey's. That's my only. There we go. You see, he's attacking. There are the men there. As I've said before, the art style's good. Okay, now let me show you. Gotta keep it here like that though. 1 second. I'm gonna at least show you once that art style because it's Okay, I'll show you like this. So you can't see the last page. They see this is. Okay, so imagine this art style, but in black and white, basically. That's a black, white, and kind of gray, I should say. That's basically the art style in those flashback scenes. I guess maybe to separate it a little bit. Okay, so that's it. Finally, another piece of the puzzle of the history here. We know how how Master Splinter and Donatello met their end. That Oroku Hiroto, well, it's obvious a piece was never made, but it's now obvious that he never meant to, was never going to make peace with them anyway. So I always thought when I started the series that maybe that they all died together, but no, they all died at different times. So slowly from this feud, Michelangelo lost his whole family almost. Oh yeah, sad, but also interesting. That we would start with them preparing, but I see they just, well, they made it in between here, in between the past and present. I like how much it goes between the two so much. It's keeping up with it, but that's the style of storytelling here. So yeah, that's it. This is one issue before the last. There'll be the conclusion, which leaves questions: what's going to happen? And also, if the nanobots were honeycoat, does that mean he's still in a way alive? Then, or I mean, no, he just destroyed himself. But I guess now that's it. They're going to take down Oroto Hiroku if they can. So have to be seen what's going to happen in the last issue. And if they all do, I wonder what Mikey's gonna do then. Like that was he's the last Ronin. That was his mission. He'll kill Oroku Hiroto. He'll restore the honor to his family and avenge them. But what then? What is he gonna do? Well, obviously, Manhattan's gonna have to be rebuilt and finally freed from Oroto's tyranny. And things will obviously go back to, well, at least somewhat normal. I do wonder what they're gonna do. And also, will everyone survive this, or will Mikey, fight this one and then die at the end and join his family? And that's it. That will be the last of the, well, at least this branch of the Homoto clan. Huh. And I'm very much interested to see how this wraps up. Thus far, it's been a good story. Going not too fast, not too slow. Revealing things slowly. From the first issue where Mikey was going on a suicide mission to finding out April's alive and she and Casey managed to have a kid, well, without the knowing. And now I suppose he's gotten back a reason to keep going because he has April and Casey Marie now. He should, stick around for them at least. Someone to train Casey Marie and to help April and then rebuilding the city. Yeah, that's left to be seen what the end of the story will bring. Alright, folks, so that is it. Let me know what you thought of issue 4 of The Last Ronin. And that is it. Remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye!